A classic Dragon Quest game on PlayStation 1, but it's been rebuilt for the ground up for the Nintendo 3DS. Was Dragon Quest VII really the best Dragon Quest game? That's up to you to decide. But when this releases, you're gonna have a solid-ass RPG for your 3DS, because Dragon games are damn good, and this one is no slouch. The story and presentation and basic setup might seem very similar to something like Chrono Trigger, but honestly, it's the gameplay where Dragon Quest really shines. You're gonna be jumping back and forth in time, exploring a surprisingly big world, customizing your party with a bunch of different vocations, over 30, and the game does have some pretty nifty Street Pass integration that some of you Street Pass addicts might like. We don't talk about 3DS enough on this channel, but I think this is going to be a very good one for your machine this month. And at number 9, speaking of 3DS, we have Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. The Ace Attorney games are freaking awesome, some of my favorite handheld games ever, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they've actually switched to a newer, fully 3D style animation in the last few games. Spirit of Justice continues the success of this franchise, and once again, it's Phoenix Wright and Apollo Justice doing their thing. It's bringing back a lot of the same investigation and litigation techniques from the previous games, but now there's a new feature called Divination Seance. Yes, you heard that right. Once again, it seems like the Ace Attorney games are really kind of embracing the, I guess you could say, supernatural elements. According to details, it seems like the plot is going to be as twisty and turny as ever, with new characters and a new location. The new location even has its own different way of handling courts, which could make the gameplay pretty different. It's also worth noting that there is a demo available, and if you've never played an Ace Attorney game, stop what you're doing and play them right now. But the demo is definitely a good way to see if this is up your alley. And at number 8, we have ReCore from developers Concept, and from the mind of legendary game developer Keiji Inafune. This is an Xbox One Windows PC exclusive that has a lot of fans pretty hyped up after a pretty emotional trailer from a few E3s back. We've got some looks at gameplay since then, and I gotta say, it doesn't really look like what I was expecting, but it could still be a lot of fun. It seems like it's action-packed, fast-paced, and with some interesting sci-fi elements and level traversal. I'll give it a shot. Honestly, if anything, we should give ReCore credit for being a completely new game. It's not a sequel or anything, it's an original IP. Here's hoping it turns out good. And at number 7, speaking of sequels, we have NBA 2K17. This time around, apparently My Gym and My League game modes have been massively improved, allowing for a ton more customization, with both modes getting a bigger emphasis on dynamically expanding teams and just general league expansion. With the 36 teams, you can actually modify any aspect of those teams. And creating an expansion team this time around is very similar to real-life expansions, and they're really fleshed out. Other than that, what you get is another update on an already solid and awesome basketball franchise. I play them every year, and I'm pretty sure that's not gonna change. And at number 6, we have XCOM 2 releasing on consoles. XCOM 2 is pretty damn good. We loved it on PC, despite some bugs which have been fixed. Generally, if you played the last XCOM, the idea behind the new one is that humanity kind of lost. Aliens are really the secret controlling and ruling force of the world, and it's up to you to take them down. That actually translates over to gameplay with a lot of actual emphasis on stealth and surprise attacks, where you usually start off every single mission with the element of surprise. If that sounds like it makes things easier, it does not, because XCOM 2 is even more challenging than the last game, and there's a lot of stuff here to sink your teeth in. From research and development to customizing your teams, this has got all that good XCOM stuff, but just even more and even better. And I'm just really excited for console players to finally get their hands on it. And at number 5, we have Pro Evolution Soccer 2017. This high-end football game boasts a bevy of improvements with slower, more focused, and deliberate realistic gameplay, improved animations that makes this game look absolutely gorgeous and realistic, and apparently a new, stronger artificial intelligence system that actually learns as you play. Apparently, opposing teams will react smarter and more realistically to your moves in-game, and basically add way more of a realistic challenge. Plus, it's also one of the last games made by Konami that are actually worth playing. And at number 4, we have FIFA 17. Yes, this month is the month of soccer/football games. The big football franchise this time around features the ability to better control shots on a goal. New mechanics allow you to completely customize your kick more than you've ever been able to before. There's also new options in how you shield a defender from the ball, with an emphasis on pushback mechanics. And of course, the usual updates to sports games like an updated roster and some tweaks on graphics and animations. It seems like for football fans, September is definitely your month. And at number 3, we have Bioshock the Collection. I feel like this thing had been rumored for so long, and now it's finally seeing a release. I don't know about you guys, but I'll take any excuse to replay the Bioshock games. Bioshock the Collection comes with Bioshock 1, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite. Most notably, Bioshock 1 and 2 are graphically remastered. They generally have a much better and more polished look than the original games. Not only that, but you also get all the DLC for Bioshock 2, and especially Infinite, and it just seems like it's shaping up to be a very nice HD collection. I can't wait to try try the original Bioshock again because it's been a while. Not only that, I think it is worth mentioning that apparently if you own the games already on Steam, they'll be updated to these newer versions, which is pretty damn awesome. And at number 2, we have Destiny: Rise of Iron. Yes, before you comment, a lot of people are very excited for this because a lot of people still do play Destiny. Rise of Iron is going to give players a lot of new stuff, like a new raid, new gear, new strikes, lots of new enemy types, a new social area, and a full Plague Land area on Earth. Not only that, but of course you're getting new multiplayer maps and all that stuff. Every single update and expansion on Destiny has made it a much better game, and it seems like Rise of Iron is going to be no difference. If you play Destiny, I'm pretty sure you're foaming at the mouth for this content. And at number 1, we have Forza Horizon 3. Personally, I enjoy the Forza Horizon games much more than the classic style original Forza games, and it seems like this time around Forza Horizon 3 is really doubling down on just crazy, ridiculous fun factor. This time around you're exploring a pretty exotic looking Australia with 350 different cars of all different types. There's some really intense co-op racing and driving modes. You're driving off-road trucks, Ferraris, Mustangs, street racing BMWs. Basically, it seems like you're getting the best of everything with Forza Horizon, from off-road stuff to street racing, so that's why I'm really pumped. I mean, come on, have you seen the trailer? You can drive a freaking Lamborghini on the beach. That doesn't make any sense, but I still want to do it. So those are the games of September, but we also have some bonus games worth mentioning, including the very interesting and unique looking Tomorrow Children is also releasing, as well as current-gen consoles getting a Dead Rising series remaster. And also, apparently, Battlefront is getting its Death Star expansion, but it's only listed for September with no date. These are the games worth caring about in September 2016, but of course, I want to know what you guys think in the comments, because there's a couple of other games releasing that we couldn't fit on the list, and overall, I just want to know what the hell you plan on playing this month. So be sure to let us know in the comments anything you want about any of the games.